Hello. Good, how are you?
She's just playing.
I am really upset. Yep.
So they can, after the meeting.
This is.
She's coming right now. So I can.
She was on her way. Alright. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. With that, the meeting of the Wednesday, July 23rd, School Board of Education for the School District of Osceola is called to order. We'll start with roll call. James?
Here.
Jan? Here. Isaac?
Here.
Corey?
Here.
Tristan?
Here.
And myself is here. Item D, public comment. Public comment is I'll outline the rules and guidelines for public comments before we start. There is a time limit for each speaker that have a maximum of 5 minutes. We ask that there's respectful conduct. All speakers and attendees are asked to maintain a respectful and courteous tone during their comments. Personal attacks, disruptful language, and disruptive behavior are unacceptable. Public comment should relate to matters that fall within the jurisdiction of the school district. Avoid confidential information, and there will be no questions or debate. Public comment is an opportunity for you to express your views, but it is not a forum for back and forth discussion or questions. With that, it looks like we have first up Teresa Udke on the item of transparency. If you would step to the podium, that would be great.
Alright, Lord, thank you for your hard work. And well done on your cell phone policy. It's about time, right? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Huge change in Osceola School District. Note to the public, we do not see any board bills. There is no first reading of policies being published, and there were well over 10 policies. No budget was published, and we are $880,000 and over $1 million in debt, and we can't see it on the projector. So I don't have that real number. What are you hiding? Do you even know that this is Fair Week? Do you remember what happened a year ago during Fair Week? The community is sick of the tricky business that's going on. The sarcasm over hiring our own lawyer rather than a vendor to review our policies does not resonate well. When you talk about transparency and trust, how are you going to build trust in a community when you are removing virtually all public visibility? And wow, at the last meeting, we were looking at over $1 million on tennis courts. Let's reflect closely. Only about half of our students can perform in reading and English skills. And now today, we finally get a chance to see the policy that is expanding our scope to creativity and leadership. And there was something up there in the budgetary statement that says we might not be paying our debt on schedule, and we're basing our entire budget on woe is me, a 1993 formula that's over 30 years old. Poorly done. I am so disappointed in this rollback of transparency and accountability, and you're going to continue asking the local tax funders to pay additional taxes on something that you're hiding. Our tax dollars are also paying the state tax burden and the federal tax burden. There is only one pie that every person in this community is paying out of, and it's their back pocket. So to try to play a shell game, it is our bread, it's our butter, it's our cereal on the table. And the sarcasm that is being leveraged and the trickiness will not carry over well in this community. Poorly done. I'm very disappointed in you.
Next up, we have Rhett Larson with recording meetings.
I'd just like to, again, ask the board to record the meetings. I've sent multiple emails requesting this, most of which don't get answered, which I guess not honestly too surprised about. I have little to nothing invested into what I do here to try to put some kind of transparency out to the community. The board minutes that are published and what can only be put in the paper is nothing compared to what actually goes on at the meetings. It's hard for people to make it here on time. The school district spent millions of dollars on technology. I don't believe you when you tell me that we can't afford to record the meetings. I honestly don't believe that. Please start recording the meetings to provide this to the community for people that can't make it here, that have jobs.
All right, with that, we move on to item 6E, which is student voice. I think you're okay right there. It's up to you, whatever you would like to do.
Okay, so, most of you guys know, I participated in Badger Boys State, a few weeks ago, like, towards the middle of June. And I just wanna just let you guys know why it's super important that we continue to offer this to upcoming kids, especially, the junior that will be going next year. So this Badger Boys State and the Badger Boys program is put on by the Legion, and we're sponsored by like people, the Legion or the Lions Club typically. And so it's like a politically based program that where kids get to go and learn what it's like running for office, because there's about 700 or so kids, and you're building your government. You start local, you go county, and then you go state. So it's just throwing kids that have an interest in leadership in the process of being elected. It's not just that though. I felt, when my experience at least, a lot of it was about camaraderie. I met so many people that I will continue to talk to and continue to reach out to, because that's just, in my opinion, it might be more important than learning about what it's like running for office and stuff like that. I do have a story, so it's kind of a funny one. But so I was running for the Supreme Court, and so I got enough signatures to get on the primary ballot, and then so they came out with our election results, and I tied with somebody to be on the general election ballot, and then they did a coin flip. But like, if you look I read the Constitution, so if you look in like the Constitution and stuff, it says that the coin flip has to be in the presence of both the people that tied. I wasn't in the presence of the coin flip. So I made a big deal about it. I started protesting. I thought that was pretty fun. And I ended up losing anyways, but hey, it was a really good time. But yeah, I just think it's really important that we continue to keep sending our kids to this stuff, because just meeting new people and just getting yourself out there, to me, that's just super important for just kids and high school kids in general. So, yeah.
So it's a whole week, right? And you're
Yes,
in
a whole
dorms?
week,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's housed where does this take
So it's changed. I don't remember where they had it before, but they brought it to the University of Eau Claire. So it's relatively close to us, unlike some of the other stuff like Wills. I don't know if you guys know what Wills is. It's the Wisconsin Leadership Seminar. That's also a thing we do it's for sophomores. I also went to that as a sophomore. It's another staff student elected thing. like Badger Boy State, but it's all about learning what type of leader you are and how to use those abilities to their fullest. So, yeah, I don't know, I just think it's just really important that we continue to send our kids to this stuff.
It's an amazing opportunity.
Oh, for sure it is.
And we also have Badger Girl, but I'm not sure that high school students always check their email in the summer. Tristan does.
Not like me.
Yes, Tristan does. So every year there's a rising senior, is it juniors?
Yep.
Yeah, rising senior that is a boy and a girl that choose go. And it's very different experiences.
Oh, yeah, completely different, I've heard
Yes.
a lot about, like, with Badger girls, you have to they have to bring material, they have to bring drafted bills to Badger Girls State. And it's a lot more serious from what I've heard over there.
I always had this misconception that they ran concurrently or together, but they're completely separate.
Yep,
entities.
they run, I think, a week after Badger Boys do. Their dorms are also a lot nicer than ours, so, just one key point.
Awesome, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And kudos to Isabel Newman for being our female girls Badger State. Very cool. Alright. Anything else for student voice? You have your rep report coming up, but that's later.
Yes.
Alright, that brings us to item 7 for the consent agenda. Or would you have that before you? What would be your wishes?
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Corey. Second by Kaisa.
Is this where we pull one of the G's out and not to discuss?
One of the G's.
On the bottom.
Oh,
policies.
sure. I would like to pull a policy.
Yeah, 2464 for some further discussion.
Is that in line with your motion and second, Kaisa and Corey? Okay, Corey?
Yeah.
We'll pull 2464 out, consent agenda as listed, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed would be nay. That is approved, that leaves us with, second reading of policy 2464.
Which one is?
Employment.
Executive comments,
It is an older one, I will say that, the bottom says 1997 in the strip, a piece that was stricken.
It was last, adopted in 2016, last
Oh.
reviewed in, June 19th of
Oh.
2025.
Was it 97?
That's just when it first was brought into policy.
I thought that was way older.
No. At the very top, it says adopted and last reviewed.
So I guess if it would change the identification paragraph and leave it as it was, and then strike the green that they wrote, that would be fine. We left that paragraph.
Say that again, James.
So leave that pink as it is and take all the green away out of the identification.
Leave the pink.
Yeah, leave, cause that's the original paragraph, that's basically expounded on. So you'd have to leave the statute, I suppose, 115 statute. It changes the domain to students are identified, identification process and tools shall be responsive to the factors as for now. Well, that's the rest of it.
I guess I'm unclear, what part do you,
I don't understand, I guess, or see the big picture piece of, the extra language in there that they put in there, that was placed in.
because that's the definition of advanced learning in the 5 domains, so that when we do an assessment, we assess in those 5 domains. So it's educational. I mean, those are the words. And so you're saying leave universal screening should
Yeah.
occur before 2nd and again in 6th grade?
Yeah, to me, it looked like they just expanded on that.
And the universal screening would mean that we would have an assessment that we would give to every child. during all of that time. That's why they're removing that, so they're saying, like, we give tons of universal assessments already, but they don't necessarily test for advanced learning. They can, like, even our state assessment, when a person's in, third grade in math, they test in the 99th percentile, right? They're gonna be flagged as a student who needs some enhanced learning in the classroom.
The red is saying that every student would need to be screened before second grade and again before sixth grade, correct?
Mhm.
The green is saying that I don't have the exact right word to use in my head right now. Appropriate, applicable students who would be tested. If they're showing, maybe they'll, I don't know the proper way to say this.
If they're
Signs
showing
of being an advanced learner, then you would test them whether they're in kindergarten through 12th grade.
Correct, and also this allows for a parent to be able to say to the school district, hey, I think my kid in first grade is showing some giftedness, advanced learning in math. Can you give them an assessment? And we can look at our universal assessments in math and be like, oh, they didn't score very high, but this is another way that you can do that, because they may be seeing something at home that we're not seeing in school, right? Because kids present differently, of course.
So you're not changing the who is maybe labeled as gifted and talented. And like, you're changing here who is screened. Does that help?
A parent or teacher.
Right.
Or a principal. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're opening that up, but it's
who
still,
would recommend that person? But would you test just for math? If someone was excelling in math or just reading language, or would you just test in that area, or would you test them in those whole 5?
In the 5 is the screening that our gifted and talented or advanced
You
learning
have to do
coordinator
all
has.
5.
You don't have to,
Oh, okay.
but you would likely do that.
because if they're showing more than one, they likely might in other areas, is that true? Correct.
I guess when I read it, it sounded like you were basing your identification on those things. Is that right, or is that wrong? Like we're basing it on conditions, race, gender, culture, native language? That's what you're basing it on? That's what,
We're
it says
really-
factors responsive such as factors, and maybe I read it completely wrong.
So identification process, so that would be the screener that you're using will be responsive, but not limited to. So making sure that if a student is an EL student, that we're giving them the assessment in Spanish. Would be
Oh,
that's what it's meaning. It's
Okay.
making sure that the identification process is available to all kiddos. Cause that's why at the end where you see it says students with advanced learning needs in one area, but learning challenges in another shall be included.
Right.
So that, like, right, a student can have an IEP and have a learning disability in math and be incredibly gifted artistically,
Okay.
right? So that's what this is trying to
Right.
put all of that out there and say.
It just sounded odd and off to me, but maybe that's clear.
And I have a question because it has race, gender, culture. I thought that language was supposed to like be taken out of policies. And I think talking with Becky, she said that they've been using more of the protected class or whatever. But I thought that they were taking gender, race stuff out of policies from when they did the DI thing in January when Trump went into office, but, the other thing, I couldn't find anything on this subsection B, chapter 115 in the state statutes. I couldn't, link that, so I would like to maybe just bring it back to me, that's, if there's something we can do some more checking, but that's my feeling.
So you'd like to postpone definitely?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that your motion?
I guess I wanna do some more checking.
So Jane, are you fine with at least your part of the change?
Yeah, I'm more content, I guess. It sounds funny, but
Okay.
it sounded funny when I read it to me.
I got you.
That's what you were basing it on.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound right. But if you give somebody the test, and their native language, if you wanna give it to them.
So looking for a motion. No, I mean, we kinda talked about it. Would you like to entertain a motion to postpone definitely the second reading of policy
I do.
2464?
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Sure.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed would be nay. That is postponed definitely. Item 8 is school board committee report. Item A is school board committee report, July 23rd, 2025. Any volunteers? Seeing none, we had administrative reports from our administrators in the district. We had our school nutrition department report from Susan Mayer. We reviewed our 24-25 budget as our final numbers are coming in. We previewed our 25-26 budget. We reviewed our school district calendars for 25-26 and 26-27, and we looked at employee handbook updates for 25-26. Anything I missed? With that, we'll move on to item B, 8B, student representative report. Go for it, Mr. Bell.
Alright. So, this is my first report, so bear with me here. So, don't have a lot of academic stuff because, it's midsummer. But I do have on here, I know Addie talked about AP scores were coming out. But they did come out a little bit before the 4th, I believe, like the 2nd or the 3rd or something like that. I've heard mostly really good news. Obviously some here or there, some not so good news, but a lot of it's been pretty good news. And then our Badger State representatives, myself for Badger Boy and then Isabella Newman for Badger Girl. And then our Wisconsin Leadership Seminar representative, Owen Henningsgaard, which I struggled to find on who our Will's representative was, so I had to add that a little bit late. And then social. So for our high school, the band went to Kansas City for a very fun experience. They performed at the Worlds of Fun Amusement Park. They then went on to spread more young chieftain spirit in Kansas City's 4th of July parade. The band placed first in the River Falls parade. They also participated in a parade in Richmond and St. Croix Falls. There was no awards given that I could find any information on. And then for the middle school band the middle school marching band finished off the year strong by performing at Valley Fair. They toured the park while playing their hearts out. I saw some videos of it and it sounded pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
After they did that, they had a well-deserved day of fun and they got to enjoy endless amounts of rides. And then another thing that was earlier mentioned was a group of 22 middle school students, 3 staff members. They went on a trip to Washington, D.C. They visited many different monuments and historical sites, including Mount Vernon, the World War II monument, the Pentagon Memorial, and I know there's a lot more, but I'll let you guys take a look at that. We've done this for a few years, and from what I've heard, it just continues to be one of the highlights of a lot of these students' summers, especially since it's more of an 8th grade thing, and it's just a fun thing that they can enjoy before they start their very scary freshman year of high school. And then for our athletics, the American Legion baseball team, we competed in our annual Baldwin tournament, not last weekend, but the weekend before. They won their first game. We won our first game after 11 innings of play, handing the loss to North St. Paul 13-12, led by Brock Gillespie's 6-for-8 game and a walk-off double, scoring Cooper Steffen. We then went on to lose our next game against Rice Lake, and so we were out of the tournament. But it was still pretty fun. The season is over with our final. Sorry, it's not over yet. Our final game is tomorrow, and we play. I'm not sure who we play. Yeah, I'm not sure who we play tomorrow. I should probably know that, but and then so Pine City basketball, they finished just Monday. I have not heard anything about whether they won or not, but they at the time they were currently 2-2, and that game on Monday decided the factor whether they were over 500 or under 500. But I'll find that out and let you guys know. And then varsity football. I missed last meeting because I was at the Duluth camp. This year we battled back and we were crowned the King of the Hill champions for the second year in a row. Hey, don't want to brag, a little bit of a dynasty going. And then additionally this year we had an actual trophy for the JV King of the Hill, and Osceola also won the JV King of the Hill, so a lot of chieftain spirit there. I know, it's awesome. And then the volleyball team, I think it was 2 weeks ago, participated in a team camp. They drove all the way down to the state's capital to continue to prepare for the upcoming season. They spent 3 days in the university. They had the opportunity to compete with other schools there, and they took 4th overall on their final day of competition. And then we had a few other things that I just learned about with like wrestling with Elliot Havlish and stuff like that. But I'll probably end up putting that in our next student report. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys.
I kind of want to piggyback off of that. Band was mentioned here, and I've gone to several parades, and we have a wonderful soul, Art Ate, who, when this old dying body was a sophomore, Art Ate came into this district, and our marching band, year after year, is by far in this area the best, and it continues to do so. And it's like a dying breed. Like I watch these districts year after year, like get worse with marching band. And like I watch some of these bands go out there, and there are kids like with one shoe on and maybe a shirt, and you're like, and some of them like some of our like, I don't even know if they qualify as marching bands, and then ours continually performs. Well, it's true, and ours year after year is so impressive, and the work that Art AK does, it's like I'm a proud parent out there every time when I watch my kid in our band, and it's like it is phenomenal. Like no matter which city we're in, the crowds there stand and applaud our band. And when the other bands go through, they sit and they clap maybe. But when our band performs, they stand and they cheer. Like it's great. It's through the leadership, but our kids love it. But our kids love it because our district takes it seriously. And he does, and he always has done a great job. And I know he won't hear this, but he has always done a great job. And I just wanted to say that because I watched him again in St. Croix, and it's so good.
I just wanted to ask, because I know you're not a lot older than me, but you are older than me.
I'm a dying animal, yeah.
Did you ever get to go to Green Bay on the first band trip?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. That's where all they started though. It was a
That's
huge
something my
thing.
grade didn't ruin. We ruined
There's
everything
the
else
one
for you
thing.
guys.
There it
There's
is.
the one thing I found in my life that you didn't ruin for us. But they started out in Green Bay, and that was a huge thing, and then now they're going to Kansas City. That's pretty cool.
It was really cool so I did go with on the van trip. Our family met them down there and stayed at the same hotel. And we went to Lenora, Kansas, is where they actually marched. And this was his 16th year of doing van trips, is what he said. And I think his 6th or 8th time going to Lenora, Kansas. And the director of their parade in this town and Mr. Ate got to meet. And you would have thought they were jumping up and down and art and so then as they marched through this town that they don't know where Osceola, we got a lot of Osceola, but people were like, yeah, welcome back, we're so proud to see you back. Just this recognizable, and it was almost 100 degrees at 10 a.m. in the morning. Kids were hot and the performance was amazing, and they put their heart and soul into it. So to be able to see that even out of the context I see it and recognize it in our communities. They show up with pride and they play these amazing musical pieces that are unique. And you know, our kids heard a band playing. I think last year was Lady Gaga that they did, or 2 years ago, and they're like, haha, we already did it. We're doing Shrek this year. We're cooler than you. And I was like, what? Kids walk around saying I'm doing Shrek. I'm cooler than you. But it's just so much fun, and to see them having fun and having a pizza party, and it was a really cool opportunity.
In May, I picked up my kid Gavin in the car after school, and he sat down with a smile on his face. I hope he doesn't see Rhett's video. And he goes, "It's marching band season." But that's like,
Yeah,
it's, yeah, he gets excited. You know?
Absolutely. It's
So,
a
yeah.
great opportunity for our kids.
It's-
Well, the
it's
nice
incredible.
thing about participation, the number of kids that
Yeah.
go out every year is, it's been really good for Osceola, and other communities really struggle.
Right.
And that's
Yeah, and I
why
remember-
some of the bands aren't maybe doing as
Right.
well.
Like, I
But
think maybe Forest Lake had I mean, they're a large district too, but they have a really good sized crew
Mhm.
still though. But
Yeah.
not a lot of districts keep that up, but we've always,
do we always send someone to Badger State and the Wills every year?
Yeah, as far as I know, we have. I've met with, like, the past year, so like my sophomore year, the people that went to Badger Boy State, which was Marcus Hilbertson. I talked to him about it, but yeah, as far as I know, we have sent somebody almost every year.
How are kids selected, do you know?
So from what I was told, at least for Wills, I know for Wills, it was like a staff, I'm assuming there was like some sort of nomination process, like teachers be like, oh, this person shows like examples of leadership. And then they get all the names together and they vote or whatever. That's from my understanding, that's Wills, and I'm assuming it'd probably be the same for Badger Boy State too. So yeah, I'm assuming they put like names forth and then they vote on it, or something like that. I know that it's not like a peer voting thing, because most people that I've talked to, they're like, oh, what's Badger Boy State? So it's clearly not like a peer voting thing. So I think it's like a staff voting thing.
They put all of the males and all the females on a list and describe what it is and say, who would you recommend? And then it goes back to whoever the decision-making team is, whether it's the administrators or the Oscar people, the whole staff, because it was their juniors. I don't know about Wills. I don't remember Wills when I worked at the high school.
Is Wills like sophomores usually go?
Yeah.
And the Badger State are people that finish junior year going in their senior?
Yes.
And there's only one per.
For, yeah,
Anything else for
great
Tristan?
opportunity.
Great job, Tristan.
thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, item 9, improving our academic achievement with accountability through data-driven practices. Item A is approve the school district calendars for 25-26 and 26-27.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Jan,
Second.
second by James. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item B, approve employee handbook for the 25-26 updates. For the ones who looked at in committee.
I'll make a motion to approve for the changes.
Motion by Jan, second by Kaisa. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item 10, improving our instructional strategies supporting student learning. Item A is approve Wisconsin model academic standards for the 25-26 school year.
This is the standard letter Julie and Amanda submitted. We use Wisconsin academic standards as a model. We have a choice to use those or create our own. We use those as the backdrop for all the work we do here, because that's what our students are assessed on, at least in grades 3 through 8. High school pre-ACT, ACT, most of them are the same.
Does this also drive the changes with our curriculum?
Yeah, so like when it went to 2020, the new ELA standards or math standards, then you want your materials to adapt to those. But usually it's about a 3-year rollout process, so you'll find that districts, because they don't create textbooks based on the standards, it usually takes them a couple of years to get there.
Board, what is your wishes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Jan, second by Kaisa. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item 11 is engaging continuous improvement of student support systems and program. Item A is approve the 25-26 revenue limit authority. And we looked at this in committee.
So what are we actually approving? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, it's something that you guys have typically done in, at this time of year. Essentially, you're saying that you're going to allow us to levy what, the revenue limit authority is to us, so allowable revenue limit. You're not under levying, so you can't over levy, that's illegal. So essentially, you're saying that you are going to, make the scheduled debt payment, so we're not missing a debt payment, we're making a regularly scheduled debt payment for the year. We're just not going to add an additional one. Recall last year, that was the conversation that we had, that we're gonna add an additional, debt payment on, to help with that mill rate. This is the scheduled debt payment, we're not skipping one, this is the scheduled one. So you're approving that, and then again allowing us to levy that dollar amount.
So basically, us doing already to the maximum that
Correct.
we have authority to do.
Yes.
I'll, make a motion to approve the 25-26 revenue limit authority.
Motion by Cory,
I'll second.
second by James. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed would be nay. That is approved. Item 12, the next committee board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the district office conference room. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the district office conference room. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 1985 1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, individual contracts.
So moved.
Motion by Kaisa,
I'll second.
second by Cory. Roll call. James. James. Nope.
Oh.
Jan, sorry.
Yes.
Say hi, Jake.
You're here. Threw me off, sorry. Kaisa,
Yes.
Cory,
Yeah.
and myself is yes, we'll take 5 and we'll be in executive session. Thank you, everybody.